A minivan used by ICE was set on fire in Philadelphia. And I know what you're thinking. ICE uses minivans? Apparently, yes. You can deport a lot of illegal immigrants in minivans. This one was caught on tape. It was lit on fire. We're not really sure yet who lit it on fire, or, well, I think we have a pretty good idea why it was lit on fire. But this van's just burning there right in the middle of the street. You can see there's police. There's actual, let me actually pull up the video so that you can hear, because there's audio that goes along with it. And the audio, you can listen to the explosions coming from the van, because, when vans burn, when things with gasoline burn, they do explode. Here's the actual video with the audio. It's a little weird that whoever was filming that was giggling at the same time, but you can hear the explosions. And, when you have to keep in mind, whenever it's a law enforcement vehicle like this, an ICE vehicle is going to have weapons inside, potentially. There could be, shotgun shells, ammunition. It could be various different rounds of whatever inside. There could be other explosive devices, flares. When you're dealing with law enforcement, there's all kinds of dangerous equipment and munitions that could be inside that kind of vehicle. So when you light it on fire, it's not just the gas tank and the oil and everything else that you're lighting on fire. It potentially could be something that could damage or harm people that are standing around in the nearby vicinity. In fact, you see one of the police officers that ducks behind a corner when he hears an explosion, because again, you don't know what's exploding, and you don't know what kind of damage it could do when it does. And this is an ongoing threat now to ICE agents, federal law enforcement agents who've been tasked with the removal of illegal criminal aliens. These are illegal aliens who shouldn't be here in the first place, who are committing crimes. Again, doubling the illegality of it all. And they've been tasked, ICE agents, under the tutelage or the guidance rather of Tom Homan, the border czar, to get all these people out of here. It's the most massive deportation in American history, one that the majority of American citizens who voted for President Donald Trump approve of. In fact, there was a poll taken yesterday, just the other day, that Donald Trump, people asked, do you support Donald Trump's mass immigration or mass removal of criminal aliens? They said yes, by the tune of 60%. They said, do you believe that Donald Trump shutting down the border and calling an emergency at the southern border was a good thing? People were like, absolutely. Again, 60%. And Tom Homan, who has been working diligently despite the fact that there are lawmakers, well, I'm not just talking about the blue state lawmakers who have been shutting down sanctuary cities and trying to keep ICE agents out. I'm not just talking about the blue state governors and mayors who've been tipping off the illegals as to when and where ICE agents are going to be popping up. But you've got elected members of Congress like AOC, who is actively holding online webinars and information sessions to help illegal aliens evade law enforcement efforts by the Trump administration. And Tom Homan was asked about that. Is AOC breaking the law?
That up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how to evade law enforcement. You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. But what she in fact doing is telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country illegally, committed a crime, they're a public safety threat, they've been convicted of serious crime, and they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress. Let us enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
No, I think I've asked DOJ, where's that line of impediment, of interference? Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on you, that's impediment. But what line is telling people to hide from ICE, not open the door? Where do you cross that line on impediment? So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
And that's exactly what she's doing. In fact, we have a screenshot from the Daily Mail. AOC slammed for putting on an illegal webinar for illegal migrants on how to avoid ICE. And there's even a screen grab here from, I guess this was on her Facebook page. You may ask if you are free to go. Am I free to go? Am I being detained? You have the right to remain silent. Don't give false documents. If they ask you to voluntarily search you, or if they ask to voluntarily search you, you do not have to give them permission. You have the right to refuse to give your fingerprints. And again, you might argue, you might say, look, this all just seems like It's legal jargon. It all just seems like it's free legal advice that AOC and these other people involved are giving. And that is something that, that is something that could be argued. In fact, that is something that Sean Hannity argued when he asked Tom Homan again, is AOC breaking the law? And would you like to see the DOJ investigate her?
When does it cross a line into aiding and abetting law breaking? Would it have to have direct involvement by her in helping people to evade ICE?
That's exactly the question I posed to the Deputy Attorney General. I asked him to look into it. I says, I know through my career, someone steps in front of you, in between you and the person you're arresting or repeating. Yeah, that's a violation. But at what point do you cross the line on saying you're educating people versus you're teaching them how to evade ICE arrest? So I've asked that question to the Department of Justice for clear guidance so I can share that with the officers of ICE. So we're looking for that clear direction so we can start taking action on people that want to evade, who want to help educate these people to evade ICE. So hopefully any day now we get that guidance sent out to the field. Yeah,
and then we can call AOC and we can say, excuse me, ma'am, you're under arrest. On Newsmax, he wasn't really mincing his words. He said she may not be one of the most intelligent members of Congress we've ever seen, although like I said, he didn't say most intelligent. He's just called her dumb.
Look, she's the dumbest congresswoman ever elected to Congress, and she proves that every day. And look, bottom line is, I can't believe any member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, Independent, would want to educate criminal illegal aliens who are in the country illegally, been convicted of a violent crime, and have been ordered removed by an immigration judge after due process at great taxpayer expense. You got a congressman or congresswoman that does not want ICE to do the job that Congress has mandated them to do and funds them to do.
This is not, by the way, the first time that Tom Homan has had a run-in with AOC and come out on top. He speaks from experience when he calls her the dumbest congresswoman ever. One of the first times that Tom Homan really came to, I would say, international superstardom was in a congressional committee meeting where he was called up to discuss the situation at the border, and AOC tried to catch him on a gotcha question that she totally flubbed because she just did not understand the law that she was trying to defend.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their...
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
AOC is telling Tom Homan, who works at the border and has for his entire life almost, she's trying to dictate the law to him. Legal asylees have not committed a crime. Right, but if you walk across the Rio Grande and into someone's backyard in Texas, you're not a legal asylee. You are an illegal immigrant. If you want to be a legal asylee, what you do is you go to the port of entry and you claim legal asylum. That's how it's always been done. That's the law. AOC doesn't know the law. And now she's trying to help people evade the law. And that's dangerous because today it's an ICE minivan. Tomorrow it's going to be an ICE agent or some other attack on our law enforcement. It could be an ambush. If these people in these cities don't start stepping up and helping and aiding ICE agents and law enforcement agents and immigration agents, then it's just going to escalate, and Americans who have sworn to protect other Americans are going to be harmed. And AOC potentially could be liable. If you enjoyed even a second of this video, do both of us a favor. Hit like, subscribe, and set those notifications. There's going to be more coming your way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Like, subscribe, set those notifications right now.